The disappearance of Maddi Kingsbury spread like a ghost, plunging the entire town into chaos. The search seems endless, from quiet footsteps on the path to boats paddling quietly and iron birds passing by on cloudy days. Madeline is a loyal mother who takes care of her family like a sacred flame, but behind her strong exterior lies a young woman hidden in the darkness. "Please help us find Maddi," the family shouted in despair. "The child is still waiting." While my sister, a kind and somewhat strange woman, seems to have never existed. Maddi and Adam are an informal couple, but their destinies have been intertwined since the first day they met. On the last day, people saw her a normal morning, but something unusual was hidden behind the veil of silence. Adam said Maddi went downstairs to her office, but since then, you have disappeared into the air. The interesting photos I sent her are still here, but Maddi is missing. We smiled, just in that moment of mourning, but after 8:15, all traces of Maddi seemed to disappear. That day, no one could find you. I sent Adam a text message saying, "No one has received any letters from Maddi all day today." His response made me even more uneasy. I'm also worried that I haven't received any letters from her. I'm at my parents' house with my children. So I reached out to a friend of Maddi's. "Her name is Katie," I said. "I need you to go to her house and see if she's there." No one was home, so I called the police. I started crying. They said there were no signs of her and no signs of a struggle. We were holding on to hope that we would find her. "We can't overlook any clues." "Who is Spencer Sullivan?" Spencer Sullivan is someone Madeline started dating. It was a strange situation because there were times she confided in me. "I don't know if this is going to work. Because of Adam, we believe Maddi's disappearance is suspicious and not voluntary, and we're using every tool at our disposal to find her." So I took to social media, mainly TikTok. "Hey TikTok, I'm posting an update. I'm in Fillmore County, and we still haven't found my sister." I mean, hundreds of thousands of people have seen her TikTok, and nearly 19 people subscribed today to go look for my sister. She pleaded with the public for help and encouraged everyone to search everywhere for her sister. People don't just disappear. My sister is still missing. The police and other law enforcement agencies are clearly still searching. Everyone is feeling frustrated, and we can't understand where she could be. Maddi is still missing. I think today marks day 68. I talked to her while I was searching for her. I wanted to be the one to find her. I didn't want anyone else in my family to find her. If it had to be one of us, I wish it were me. This has gone on for too long. We just want to bring her home. There's something about Winona that pulls you back in. Scott Sherman is the mayor of Winona, Minnesota, a small town along the Mississippi River. It's a really cool place, named after the actress Winona Ryder. As she told the world in that Super Bowl ad, "There's something about this place." And my 26-year-old Maddi Kingsbury also feels that connection to Winona. So when Mayor Sherman heard about her disappearance and wanted to help, I felt that Maddi was the daughter of Winona, a bright young woman working in Rochester, raising kids at the same time. That's important, so I respect Maddi. Mayor Sherman thought he could help because he's an avid cyclist. He rides year-round on the roads around Winona. You know those roads in the area. I know you've been out there, and I have too. But as mayor, Sherman felt his first job was to support Krista Neighbor, Maddi's mother, who hugged me when she arrived at the Search and Rescue Command Center, and I'll never forget that moment for a cat. That hug conveyed fear and anxiety. "What do you mean by that? What's your message with this hug?" "I'm here for you, and we'll do everything we can to find her." On the evening of Friday, March 31st, 2023, the Maddi family began to worry when Krista realized she hadn't heard from her daughter all day. "There's something wrong with me." And my mother's intuition was right. Krista reached out to Megan, Maddi's sister, but Megan said she wasn't too worried that I had sent her a few messages. "Hey, Mom still hasn't heard from you. Can you call her? Can you text her back?" She worried because she wasn't responding while Maddi was living with their father, Adam Flavel. They met at Winona State University. He was outgoing and seemed genuinely interested in getting to know us, and I guess he was almost obsessed with Madeline. While still in college, Maddi and Adam found out they were expecting their first child and decided to settle in Winona, where he took care of Aunt Teresa, Adam's sister, Sis Maya. She said Adam dropped out to support his new family, knowing he was going to be a dad. He looked for a job, and he worked that job until COVID-19 hit, and then he was laid off. He allowed Maddi to continue her college education so she could graduate. She graduated, and after that he supported her while Maddi started working at the Mayo Clinic and becoming a clinical research coordinator. Maddi's father, David Kingsbury, mentioned that she had recently begun taking advanced courses as a graduate student. She was enrolled in a master's program at the University of Minnesota and had just completed her first semester there with excellent grades. Adam, who studied computer science in college, had started flight classes. As he took this pilot course, he focused on getting his pilot's license, and he felt accomplished, which made him feel really good, and I was proud of what he had achieved. I enjoyed being around him, and I could tell that he genuinely cared about Madeline. On the night of March 31st, Megan contacted Adam when he was just a few hours away from Winona. He said he was worried and sad, "Because today I'm heading home, and she's missing. Adam and the kids were at Mabel's parents' house, about an hour's drive south of Winona, when Megan texted Maddi's best friend. Katie Koka lives in Winona. My parents and I couldn't reach Maddi all day, and Katie responded that she was on her way over. The house was surprisingly quiet, and that's when Katie called the Winona police to report the missing person. They told her that she couldn't file a report yet, because it hadn't been 24 hours. I was pacing back and forth in the kitchen, really worried, and Maddi's dad was concerned too. He had tried to reach her, asking where she was and what was going on. The next morning, with Maddi missing nearly 24 hours, the Kingsbury family filed a missing person report, and then Adam took to Facebook to seek help. Please contact the Winona Police Department. Me, or any family member of hers. Please help me find the mother of our two beautiful kids. The police did everything they could to find Maddi as soon as possible, because they knew the urgency of the situation. The investigation began. What they did and what they knew about Maddi's disappearance was remarkable. It spread quickly beyond Winona, and Haley Scott, one of Maddi's sisters, wanted to help me reach out to our sister. I contacted news outlets, and I was scratching at straws. Meanwhile, according to police reports, detectives reached out to Adam Flavel, who told them about how the couple dropped the kids off at daycare on the morning of March 31st. Investigators confirmed this information after speaking with a daycare provider who supplied video footage to the police, which has yet to be made public. This was the last time Maddi was seen on video before her disappearance. The police reported that Adam told them he and Maddi returned home after dropping the kids off, and she had gone to the office in the basement. I have reviewed all the evidence we have so far in the case of Maddi Kingsbury, a former prosecutor and defense attorney, as well as a consultant for 48 hours. In a police interview, Adam told detectives that he had left the car for Maddi, borrowed her blue van to move some boxes, and then put some boxes in the truck he would use to move to his parents' house. He said he didn't see Maddi again. He drove to his parents' house along Highway 43. Police stated Adam told them he reached the area of Choice, Minnesota, when he realized he made a mistake. The boxes he had in the truck were actually things he wanted to drop off at storage, so he turned around and headed back home. Police reported Adam told investigators he returned home in Winona around 11:00 a.m. He saw his car still in the driveway. He said he had texted her a few times asking about dinner and whether she was picking up the kids, but received no response. Police stated Adam told them he assumed Maddi had carpooled to work, and when he hadn't heard from her, he went to pick up the kids by himself. Once again, video from daycare seemed to partially confirm Adam's story. Finally, he picked up the kids around 4:20 or 4:30 from daycare and took them to his parents' house in Mabel, Minnesota. In a police interview, investigators noted that Adam had fresh scratches on his face the day after Maddi disappeared. Adam's sister said that he told her those scratches were caused by a friend's dog. On Saturday, April 1st, police searched the home in Winona where Adam lived with Maddi, and investigators reported they found no obvious signs of foul play. But what they did find in the house were her purse, her jacket, her credit cards, but no Maddi. 2 days later, a worried Megan rushed out of the shower and informed her TikTok followers about what was happening. TikTok, I need your help. I don't think I'm in a towel. I need your help. This is my sister. Maddi Kingsbury is missing. The last post has garnered over 500,000 views. Help us find her. She has 2 kids. She's my best friend. She's my little sister. We need to bring her back. Please help us. You're clearly in distress. Your expression shows you're pleading for help, and people want to assist. Yes, many people have offered to help. Search for Maddi Kingsbury. This has allowed authorities to widen the search. There's no handbook on how to search for a missing loved one, and finding her has been incredibly difficult. One of the most heartbreaking experiences I've ever gone through in my life. We all hope she's alive, but by the weekend, there were no signs of Maddi. Day after day, Megan continues to post updates on TikTok. Today is Tuesday, the 25th, and there are still no signs of Maddi. Next week is May. We are still in hell. I feel like all of us. Every night, we look out. It's very cold and dark. Where is she? Is she trapped somewhere? You don't know what to do. However, investigators have started to closely monitor Adam, especially after Maddi's friends told disturbing stories. Maddi called me shortly after her incident with Adam, and he told her that if she wasn't careful, she would end up like Gaby Petito in the Gaby Petito case. This case attracted nationwide attention in the autumn of 2021. After a young girl from Long Island was found dead, the search for 22-year-old Gaby Petito became a federal investigation. Your humor has been discovered. A month later, she seemed to have disappeared from the earth. I told her, you need to go out. You have to leave now. It's not a meaningless threat. What do you think of Megan's TikTok posts? Talk to the 48-hour team on Facebook. A few years before Maddi went missing, her sister Megan said that her relationship with Maddi had ups and downs. Adam seems to have a terrible ending. He just didn't treat her well. He didn't show love for you. He didn't help take care of the child. He didn't clean up. In fact, have you suggested that maybe it's time for your sister to leave him? Many times, Maddi's father David. He said he was saddened to see Adam treat Maddi like this. I think she really gave him a river of love, and she hardly gave anything in return. Maddi's stepmother Casey said that Maddi often calls to say that Adam didn't help the child, and she often cries and says, Adam didn't help. I hate this. But Maddi's family and friends said that this was not just a tearful argument. About 3 years before Maddi went missing, Haley said she witnessed Adam slap Maddi during a video call. Haley and Maddi were chatting when Adam appeared behind them and started shouting at Maddi. He shouted, I don't understand why this house is so messy, she said. I don't know. Maybe you should help me at this moment. Adam turned around and slapped her with an open hand. In September 2021, 18 months before Maddi went missing, she told Haley about Adam's dark obsession with Gabby Petito's story. Adam has an obsession with the Gabby Petito case, which I call obsession, Haley said Maddi told her one night. After she and Adam watched a special program about the Petito murder case, Adam's obsession became threatening. He really turned around, grabbed her neck, and picked her up. He told her that if she was not careful, she would eventually become like her. Katie said she was trying to get Maddi to do something, and she pleaded with her, please go to the hospital. Record it yourself. Do whatever you need to do. You need to record it, so that you can safely leave there with the children. But Katie said that Maddi never reported anything to the police. She was worried that Adam would be caught. You want to protect him. You protected him. However, Maddi told her father David and stepmother Casey about the strangulation incident. She was very scared after being strangled to death. She is very, very scared and needs help. Casey said she and David drove to Maddi's house to take her and the children away from there. She was with us, and we went home, so she can bring some things and clothes for the children, then put them in the car and follow us back to our home in Farmington. But Casey said, Maddi only stayed at Kingsbury's house for 3 days before returning to Adam, who was angry about her leaving. I told her at some point, he'll kill me, you told Maddi. Yes, you think it's too dangerous, and have to tell your daughter, I think he might kill you. How did she react to that sentence? Or really, I mean, she became an expert in downplaying things. And things came back. He was just joking. He told me he was joking. She wanted to believe that. After Maddi went missing, her friends and family reported these events to the police. According to the search warrant, detectives interviewed Adam and asked if he and Maddi had had any physical conflicts. He said, oh, no. When the detective asked about Gabby Petito's comments, the police said Adam admitted to saying so, but insisted that he was just joking. However, according to the search warrant, investigators have discovered an old screenshot that Maddi saved from some of the information exchanged with Adam. Maddi said, you know, I really don't agree with you putting your hand on my neck. Before that, push me in front of the children, so I completely disagree, especially when they're there. Adam replied, you'll get Yuko. Maddi replied, what exactly is it? Detectives want to know everything Adam did on the day of Maddi's disappearance and begin collecting surveillance videos from his home and business. The police said a blue van that looked like Maddi. This video is recorded on Highway 43, and Adam told the police that he walked this road that morning. However, according to the search warrant, the schedule does not match Adam's schedule. The camera kept tracking the blue van until around noon. The police reported a 45-minute gap after that. This gap occurred around Choice, Minnesota. They said this was where Adam told them he realized he had made a wrong turn, turned around, and drove straight back to Winona. According to that search warrant, there's a 45-minute window where Fravel couldn't be tracked. I mean, where was he during those 45 minutes? That's the big question. You know, a big question, right? But without any direct evidence and no sign of Maddi, the investigators didn't arrest Adam, and he continued to live at his parents' house with the kids. Meanwhile, Megan kept updating on TikTok. Madeline is still missing, unfortunately. So, we are still searching for her. As detectives continued their investigation, they uncovered a new lead. A romantic relationship Maddi had with another man, a military veteran named Spencer Sullivan. I'm Spencer Sullivan, and I was dating Maddi Kingsbury. At the time she disappeared. Now the police were very interested in knowing where Spencer was on the day Maddi went missing. What do you think about Adam's comments related to Gabby Petito, which he claimed to the police was a joke? Let's chat right now with the 48 Hours team on Facebook and X. In the spring of 2023, Maddi knew her relationship with Adam was falling apart, and she was very honest with her father. She said, you know, Dad, I know I'm in a bad relationship. I know my family knows, I know my friends know, and I feel ashamed about it, but I don't know what to do about it. Maddi had joined Tinder, where she reconnected with Spencer, someone she knew from college. We were friends on Facebook. So, I knew she had kids, but I wasn't sure about her relationship status with Adam Preval. Surprisingly, Spencer also knew Adam from Winona State. He was in the same fraternity as me. Tell me about the Adam you knew back then. He and I didn't really talk much. Maddi told Spencer that she and Adam had reached a breaking point. Maddi and Spencer began dating but kept it very discreet. We both agreed to keep it a secret until she was independent. Primarily, this relationship was a secret from Adam. Maddi's family and friends knew about it, and they alerted the police about Spencer when Maddi went missing. That's when investigators summoned Spencer for questioning. They just asked me general questions about when we started dating. They asked, where were you at this time? What were you doing at this time? What were you doing on March 31st, 2023? That morning I was working. Spencer handed over his phone while the investigators checked his alibi evidence. As they reviewed his story, they also learned from Maddi's friends and family that Chisao ne trua ki ko bien mad, kodakwe kong noi voi Adam ve Spencer, ko kong muan noi doi, va dayu ne q don nen trong long ko kam jiak toi loi. Did Maddi really tell Adam about Spencer? Yeah, that took a lot of courage. We wish she hadn't. It all just spiraled out of control. Megan said Maddi told Adam she was leaving him, and she was looking for an apartment where she could live with their kids. Did she tell you how Adam reacted? I think she said he cried, and he was really hurt at that moment. I'm sure he felt hurt and heartbroken. Suddenly, he found out she had feelings for someone else. This is tough. Adam's sister, Teresa, and his brother, Ryan, said the news about the breakup was heartbreaking for them, too, because Maddi was a cherished part of their extended family. Maddi was like a sister to all of us, and our hearts were breaking. We lost a family member. They noted that even though Adam and Maddi's relationship had always been rocky, they had been together for 7 years. I was utterly shocked when I found out she was dating Spencer behind my brother's back. Katie, Maddi's best friend, said the tension between Maddi and Adam reached a breaking point after she revealed Spencer. That was the day before she disappeared. She called me in tears and asked if she could come over to our house to work. She said Adam was hovering around her while she was working. Commenting on other men raising kids, she asked, "Are you really going to leave me for another man?" She felt very threatened, and Maddi left home and went to Katie's. She even came to celebrate my birthday before heading to Spencer's place in Verona. She brought 2 donuts we could share and gave me a gift, which was a small Lego set, a tiny Star Wars Lego set. I got a card from her, a Star Wars card. And the last time I saw her, I remember she was standing on my porch, turned back, smiled at me, and waved goodbye. The last time I saw her was within days of his interview, after the police confirmed Spencer's alibi and returned his phone. Eventually, the police said he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Spencer was the best thing that happened to her in a long time, and he showed her that she deserved more than what Adam had to offer. After Maddi went missing, I thought things like this didn't happen here. You know, we were talking about her moving to a new place, and how she wanted me to come help her decorate. The day after she left, he said he couldn't stop thinking about the birthday card Maddi had sent him. I think I must have read that card at least 100 times, as much as I could think, and I really feel sorry. 4 days after Maddi went missing, her parents were temporarily granted custody of her children. My granddaughter and grandson are no longer in their father's care, and you know, we appreciate their concern. But when Maddi's friend, Lauren Dubois, thought about Maddi's kids, they were being well cared for. She recalled a conversation with Maddi from a month earlier and reported it to the police. She told me that she needed me to know that if anything happened to her or her child that Adam caused, in any case, she would never abandon her kids for anything. 10 days after Maddi went missing, police received a tip that Adam had been spotted riding a shovel and driving his family SUV near his parents' home. According to the search warrant, a dog was reported in the vehicle and a shovel was found, and as far as I know, they are specially trained to find people. 2 days later, Adam made a statement through his attorney, part of which was that I had cooperated with law enforcement at every turn, which I not have anything to do with Maddi's disappearance. I want the mother of my 2 kids, ages 5 and 2, to be found and brought home safely. I want that more than anything. Maddi has been missing for 35 days. When Katie and others gathered to remember her, she was a beautiful and kind soul. Even on the brightest days, it felt dark and gloomy without her here. David Kingsbury spoke to the crowd in a local church. We know that Madeline is out there somewhere. She didn't just vanish. Someone knows something. Someone saw something. Make this your rallying cry. Where is Maddi? Where is she? Speak up loudly and don't stop until she's found. Tune in to the 48 Hours Postmortem podcast for Maddi Kingsbury on June 7th, 2023. It started like any other day since Maddi went missing. Hey TikTok. Good morning. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Maddi is still missing. Keep spreading the word about my sister Madeline. But just a few hours later, we began this hour with breaking news from southeast Minnesota. 68 days after Maddi went missing, a deputy sheriff discovered a human body along this lonely country road. And although it hasn't been confirmed by the coroner, they are quite certain it's my daughter, lying on the floor and just screaming and crying. You know what to say when someone tells you something like that. There's nothing you can say. For Maddi's best friend, Katie, the news was devastating. Her reaction was captured on her doorbell camera the following day. Maddi's friends received the news from the Winona sheriff. Law enforcement confirmed that the body was that of Maddi Kingsbury. You can't prepare for one of your children to pass away, let alone to be found somewhere out there. She was found like this, wrapped in a gray bedsheet with black tape around her ends and a towel wrapped around her head. Adam Fravo was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The gray bedsheet wrapped around Maddi, according to the indictment, appeared to match a set found in Maddi's home and on the secluded road where Maddi's body was discovered. According to the indictment, that the Fravel family preserved. This area is also close to the choice jurisdiction, where police believe there is a 45-minute gap in Adam's timeline. This area here, in this culvert, is where Maddi's body was found. Someone left a little angel here to mark the spot. Maddi's autopsy recorded her cause of death as homicide, nothing less. And in October 2023, Adam was charged with additional first-degree murder counts. Adam's possible motive for the murder, according to a search warrant, was that he had fallen into a crisis state due to his financial dependence on Maddi, and was deeply troubled by the end of their relationship. Investigators also discovered that Maddi had a life insurance policy worth $170,000, but no designated beneficiary. She was his lifeline, the one who handled everything for them. According to the search warrant, when police entered the couple's home, they noticed that the surveillance cameras inside had been removed. Former prosecutor Mary Fulginity stated that the manner in which these cameras appeared to have been taken down caught the detective's attention. They found that the surveillance cameras he had installed were yanked out and gone. All of this was a sign that he was hiding something, showing a sense of guilt. He had taken them down weeks before. They were in the process of moving. Adam's sister and brother mentioned that there was a time before Maddi and Adam broke up when the couple planned to move into Adam's parents' house. We want everyone to know that. The story has two sides. For example, the dogs that detected the body alerted about the utility vehicle and the shovel. Adam's family stated that the reason was that the weekend prior, their father had used the shovel to move a dead raccoon. They used the shovel to pick it up. Every time we tried to clarify something with investigators, we were met with contempt as if we were being delusional. I believe Adam 150% that he is innocent. He would never harm Maddi, the mother of his children. He would never do that. Adam's defense team requested a judge to block the police interview with Adam, claiming he wasn't read his Miranda rights. This was the interview where he admitted to making comments about Gabby Petito, but said he was just joking. During the preliminary hearings, his lawyer also stated that there wasn't enough evidence to charge him with first-degree murder. Adam's siblings insisted that the authorities should closely monitor Spencer Sullivan. We are trying to broaden the perspective of the investigators, as there may have been other incidents. How did you like it? What I mean is, they are trying to protect Adam, and they need to accept the fact that, in my opinion, they caught the right person. There is a presumption of innocence in our legal system, which everyone has the right to enjoy, but there is also a common-sense court. All roads lead to appreciation. The Kingsbury family now expresses hope for saving others. That's why we're here. And also why we're talking about this. Because we don't want this situation to happen to anyone else. This is too scary for you. Would you blame yourself for it? I think we all blame ourselves to some extent. Because when I talked to her, I didn't push. I hope she can say something when she's ready. She has a Hulk center, and the children make it very difficult. For Maddi's father, no matter what decision the jury makes, there is a bigger fact that troubles him. I will always be the father of a murdered girl. Spencer Sullivan told us that he was also troubled by his conversation with Maddi. A few weeks before she went missing, she told me she loved me. Fortunately, I'm sorry to answer, but will it bother you? Every day I see Maddi's future. It feels like someone has stolen the next 60 years from me. For Megan, she still can't imagine a future without Maddi. Even if I say we are sisters, we cannot express our intimacy either. We are each other's soulmates. How do you want to remember Maddi? As an important person, I believe everything we see and hear from